All right. I had to take a deep breath. Hi, everyone. This is my first math video online, and if I seem a little nervous, please bear with me. I will get better as time goes on, and I've been trying to do this for quite a while, and I'm just excited to finally get to it. All right. Without wasting time, let's get straight to work. The first lesson here, we will be learning how to use the remainder theorem to find a remainder when you divide a polynomial by the other. For instance, we have 3z raised to the power 4 plus 5z cubed negative 4z squared plus 5z negative 1 divided by z plus 1. What is the remainder when you do this division? It's very simple. Let's just get to it. All you need to do is to set z plus 1, which is the denominator, also known as divisor. Set that to 0. That's the first step. Solve for z, step 2. Solve for z. And how do we solve for z? We need to get rid of plus 1. How do we get rid of plus 1? We subtract negative 1 from both sides. Right there. You just always do the opposite of the sign. So we're left with z equal negative 1. Now, step 3, after solving for z, is to plug in the value of z, negative 1, right here, into the numerator. All right, plug that into the numerator. Let's go. Best thing you want to do is to write down the numerator before you plug in. It just helps you avoid errors. I know we all love to rush and get to work and get it done, but try this and you will avoid errors. 3, everywhere you see z, replace it with negative 1. And make sure you always do the plug-in in with a parenthesis, as you see around the negative 1, because when you do not do so, on some days it will lead to errors. So just make it a habit. Do it all the time when you plug in values into any mathematical equation. So negative 4, negative 1 squared plus 5. All right, 5, negative 1, negative 1. And you type that into the calculator, as you see at the top right here. The answer will be negative 12. And that's your remainder. All right. Very simple. Don't overthink. Again, set the denominator, also known as the divisor, or the bottom of the equation. Set it to 0. Solve for z, negative 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. And then you have z equals negative 1. And then you plug in negative 1 into the numerator, also called, or aka dividend. Or we could just say the top of the equation, or top of the fraction. All right? You write that down, and then replace z with negative 1 everywhere you see z. And type that into the calculator as you wrote it down, and you're done. Let's do 2 more questions very quickly. All right, here's another question. So again, set the divisor, also known as denominator, or you can just say the bottom of the fraction, set it to 0. M negative 2 equals 0. Solve for m. How do we solve for m? We get rid of negative 2. And how do we get rid of negative 2? We do the opposite, which is plus 2. M equals plus 2, or 2. All right. Then we plug that into the numerator right here. The numerator, also known as a dividend, or the top of the fraction. So write it down. All right. And then in the next line, replace m with what? 2. Negative 2. Again, replace m with 2. You have squared. Negative 5. Replace m with 2 and negative 2. And when you type that into the calculator, as you see right here, the answer will be negative 44. And that's the remainder. All right. Next question, very quickly. What is the remainder when you divide this by this? In this case, my advice to you will be initially to write down the entire thing in division format, as you already see me doing. 2x plus 3, oh, negative 3, sorry. This just helps you to see things clearly, because when you see your work, it makes it easier for you to avoid mistakes. You avoid mistakes when you write things down. So, again, set the divisor to 0. 2x negative 3 equals 0. Solve for x. Now, what do we do here? We got to get rid of negative 3 first, which means we add to both sides. We're left with 2x equals 3. Now we got to get rid of 2. How do we do that? We divide both sides by 2. And we left with x equals 3 over 2. And now we plug in 3 over 2, or 3 divided by 2, into the equation. So I will write down the entire thing. Plug it into the numerator. All right, the numerator, the dividend. Two, 3 over 2 raised to the power 4, 4, and then replace x with 3 over 2 squared, plus 5, replace x again with 3 over 2 plus 1, and type this into your calculator. We use decimals in my class. Type it into the decimals calculator, and it will just spit out the answer for you, which is what? 9.625. So that is your remainder. All right, and that's what you see here too, 9.625. And for some of us, we prefer fraction in decimals. If you do, that's what you see here, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and it gives you exactly the same answer. All right. If you like what you saw and it was very helpful to you, please feel free to subscribe. And let me know what you think about this video. Have a good day. Or evening, whichever one. All right.